The mayor needs to reach out to the governor, and they need to get the National Guard in there, regardless of if it's happening or not, to stop this kind of stuff. They need a presence to deter. That's what the police do. They deter. When you drive into a parking lot and you see a police car, you're less likely to do something dumb because there's the appearance of law, rules. If you don't have a presence, you have problems. They really need to take this seriously because vigilante justice, especially when it's coming from people who are convicted, can be very, very, very scary. And I want to show you guys that something that's even more scary, in my opinion, because people are seeing this stuff and they're taking it seriously. So this is kind of going to go this way, and then it's going to come right back to this topic. This is in Chicago.
$15,000 in food stamps and $5,000 cash money monthly.
Every month they're getting that.
Yes, and they're getting 6 months free rent. But this was the first time I heard about it. I've heard it's 2 years free rent, getting Section 8 first prioritized before the citizens.
Wow. So the Venezuelan migrants that are coming in here, they are getting 6 months free rent, $15,000 in food stamps.
Now, there was that lady with the receipt that said 13,000. I wasn't sure of it, which is why I haven't talked about it. But you can only hear about something so many times before you start thinking there's some kind of truth to what these people are saying. Because you see it everywhere. And it's not, again, I don't know if these people are really getting $15,000 in food stamps and a credit card to come here. But we've heard the government say things like this before. I've seen pamphlets that were being handed out in Mexico that said that there are organizations that will take care of you. Whether this is true or not, this is the perception. And I think the government needs to be very, very mindful and watch this stuff very, very closely.
And on a credit card, $5,000. Cash. Oh my goodness. How do the people in Chicago feel about that?
Oh, people are angry because there's a lot of people, that need help with Medicaid and food stamps, and they get rejected.
Tell me about the people that you've seen on the streets collecting clothes.
By my house, there's a Walgreens. There's a lot of families that go stand by the door with a pamphlet saying they need money and food. And they're Venezuelans getting money. And then they go in the bus and don't pay. Go in the trains, don't pay. And they're not getting in trouble for none of the wrong things they're doing.
They can commit a crime or steal or something and nothing happens to them?
Nothing happens. They get away with everything. By my house, a car passed by. It said Venezuela in the back windshield. In the front windshield said Venezuela, and on the side of the window it said Chandel Rockland. And they drove by my house.
Now, that is the gang that everyone's talking about in Colorado. Chicago is different. Anyone from Chicago doesn't realize how different it is. But Chicago is different. So seeing that gang show up in Chicago is not good. I've lived in Los Angeles. I've been all through Los Angeles. No disrespect to Los Angeles, but it's not like Chicago. There's nowhere near the amount of gangs. I haven't seen it anywhere. Maybe New York. I've been to New York, but I didn't live there, so I haven't experienced it. Chicago is different. Every time somebody asks me, is it really like that? All I can say is it's different from anywhere I've been and anywhere I've lived. That gang showing up in Chicago is not good. I'm telling you right now, that cannot end well.
Unit 10-3, I'm citywide person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All stairwells are filled. Nothing further is unclear.
So, she said on 61st and King, which when I lived there was no Hispanics over, so I don't know. I don't know what it's like right now. But 61st and King, 32 Venezuelans are it. So I'll just read it, and you can hear what she said. I can play it again. A group of 32 armed Venezuelans took over an apartment building in Chicago. Here is the audio of the 911 dispatch call. First, they did this in Aurora, Colorado, now Chicago. This will not end well. I grew up in this city. I am telling you right now, listen to the dispatch, because this is not a joke. And the mayor of Chicago will be ousted when this if what I think is going to happen happens. It's not going to be good.
Unit 10-3, I'm citywide. Person with a gun, 6124 South King Drive. Caller says 32 Venezuelans are trespassing the building, showing guns in the courtyard, and they have motorcycles in the courtyard as well. All they're filled. Nothing further, zone clear. Hey, I'm sorry, you headed over to the shot putter or to the 6124 on King for the migrants?
On King Drive.
Alright, 10-4. There's another available unit arrive at 310. We had multiple calls. Person with the gun, 6124 South King. Also came over to disturbance large gathering. Said to be 32 Venezuelans trespassing in the building property, showing guns in the courtyard. They have motorcycles in the coreway, all stairwells filled. And nothing further.
So I put a map here just so you guys can see. You can't see everything I'm showing here, but on the left, that whole line down there is all the different, not all, but that's most of the Chicago gangs. Where this happened, 61st and King Drive, is not very far from what it's called Parkway Gardens, which you guys would call O Block, which is more by Calumet. We'll say 62nd to like 66. It's a different project. This will not be acceptable to anybody in the city of Chicago, no matter if that's their neighborhood or not, because it means that you have a whole gang, 32 people, not from the city of Chicago, showing up trying to flex. Because that's what this is. All those little colors on the screen are gang neighborhoods and what gang is in that neighborhood. Where this happened is where all that blue is, down on the bottom of the screen. I wish I could make this bigger. I wish I could zoom in. I'm sure there is a way, but I can't. You guys can't even see my cursor. It is not. It already is a really, 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 really rough area. So to have these people come in and for whatever reason choose that area it's a recipe for disaster. It really is, and there's going to be a lot of innocent people. This is a better map. So all the blue down there, that's the south side. That's mostly what would be called, we'll just call folks neighborhoods. I can't explain enough the gravity of having a gang just show up. This isn't a movie. This isn't Power or where Tommy came to Chicago and starts trying to take over stuff and he's dealing with Irish people. That's not what this is. I'm telling you right now, that is not what this is. The police need to get ahead of this.